Hi everybody. Today we're speaking about Unit 4, which should be called the Introduction to Unit 4. The name of the unit is investigating language, and in my estimation, this is the only unit that is a big combination of everything, and there is a very big part of the unit that you have to work individually, which is, in one word, a research or a research project, if you like. So, what do we have in a nutshell? The time is 2 hours, we have two sections. We consider June 2025 the pre-released material for the international advanced levels, of course. If you haven't known it, you can discover the topics beforehand, which is the main idea of the whole unit, that you understand the topics. You choose one and you read up for it. So in this video I want to highlight the topics and also think about the possible questions that will be asked in the 2025 summer session for Unit 4. So the topics are always the same. Topic number 1 is Global English. This year, let us also consider 2025 summer session. The subtopic for this topic is Appalachian English. Usually there are the materials suggested by the Edexcel board to be covered. Frankly speaking, there is not much. Always that is of real help and value, so you have to find different things yourself. Topic number 2 is child language development, my personal favorite. We have been taking this one for 4 or 5 years straight. Not this year though. The subtopic is children's books for 2025. A very interesting one in my estimation. This is also a pretty difficult one compared to the previous topics, because really there are children's books for all the ages starting from 1 to 7, and this is actually the so these are the years suggested to go into, which is a lot. So I really think that this is not an easy take this year. Suggested materials again, books, online resources. Topic number 3, language and power. The subtopic here is legal language. To me it sounds rather boring. No offense, those who have chosen this one. I do not remember whether we have ever taken this, or I've had any students who had preferences to take language and power before, probably 1 or 2 students. So it's just, a question of whether you like the subtopic or not. So this year legal language doesn't really sound appealing, at least to me. And then we have last but not least, which is language and technology. And if we, by the way, coming back to topic 3, language and power, is really one of the topics suggested for Unit 1 examination program, because there is a part of the curriculum dedicated to how language is used in order to implement the power in speech and writing. So this is the big topic for the research in Unit 4. So this one is related to Unit 1, and also language and technology with the subtopic e-learning is related to Unit 2, where we have to evaluate how the technology is related to the language change. I hope I don't confuse anything in here. I believe it must be Unit 2, Section B. Nevertheless, the subtopic is e-learning. Language and technology, by the way, is a very interesting topic each year, and there are pretty interesting subtopics suggested as well. So what is actually e-learning is the use of electronic technologies to deliver education content and training programs. For those who are interested in the relations between English and technology, this must appear very interesting one as well. So some areas suggested for your consideration. So this is a brief overview of the topics for June 2025 section. And this year, by the way, with some of my students, we've taken the Global English, the Appalachian English variation, and thus I want to think about the possible questions that can be answered, that can be asked in the examination paper, both section A and section B. So if we open Unit 4, which is the June 2023 session, and we take the topic Global English, and the subtopic here is Barbadian English. Usually in both section A and section B, especially in section A, the questions are really similar, but only basing on the subtopic only, there are the changes. In section B, there may be variations, but they're not really radical. So my suggestion, it's just again a possibility, anything can change. This year, basing on what we've had before, the question for section A sounds: read the data on page whatever, and then the question goes like this: to what extent is text A, say, representative of, here it is Barbadian English, and we're gonna have the Appalachian English variation. So this is a very general descriptive question with the evaluative comparison, as far as I can see, to suggest again the similarities and differences between the Queen's English and the Appalachian English. Here, by the way, there may be another part dedicated to the Standard American, but this is another topic. And basically you're suggesting the things that may have been as well suggested in Unit 2, which is evaluate the differences and similarities between the variation and the Queen's English, which is of course you need some extra details for this one. So this is in terms of the format, it must be I would say descriptive essay or discursive, so something in between. Let us go to section B. So section B can be different. For the 2023 session, it was one of the ways to give it is to receive a statement and then to discuss. So this one is definitely a discursive essay here, because you're discussing this statement with references to your own research, which is the data, the information you've gathered. And here is the statement: despite Barbados being located within the Caribbean, Barbadian English has more in common with dialects of English in the UK than it does with Caribbean English-based Creoles. That's a hefty statement. So this is to be discussed once again with reference to your research. There are the bullet points. It is similar to Unit 2 again, frameworks and social, historical, cultural factors here. So if we come back to the topic of Appalachian English, this may be something again, there can be any statement for a discussion given to you, either controversial or not really, and then you will have to discuss it in relation to the Appalachian English dialect. And I believe this is it. I think I can probably extract different variants for section B, but this will be the content for another video. For the moment, it's already enough to see that there is highly likely to be a statement for section B for you to discuss in relation to the English variation you have chosen, with references to the research you've made. I hope you will find the video useful. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.